guys, Martin here with another update. The fish room, the wall of fish you're seeing here has another big update. Now what I've done is the top shelf, I've put up all my air pumps up at the top. I still have to fix a little bit of the wiring, but I prefer them up at the top. They don't make very much noise because I put them on a nice piece of shelving, and as well, every single one of my tanks has a sponge filter now. That's what this was about. All my tanks have sponge filters everywhere, except for the two middle beta tanks. They don't need it. I just have two female betas in there. But you can see all of them have sponge filters, including the huge 120-gallon tank that has a big 250 sponge filter in there. And yeah, all of them have it. Even my little baby fry fish, they have one. So let me just zoom out. Hang on one sec, let me move some of this stuff out. Excuse the glare, but I have my window open today. So the wall of fish has all my air pumps at the top, and that eliminates a lot of the wiring that you guys would have seen in behind the tanks. That's all gone. Only LED lights, that's the only power cables you'll see there. So I've gone to the sponge filters because they collect all that I don't know, beneficial bacteria on them, and I have these little sucker fish. They should clean these sponges for me. I'm hoping that will happen, as well as snails. And for now, temporarily, I'm trying to just work off of the sponge filter. In the 120-gallon, I shut down the big filter completely to save energy. And I might do one more on the side of that one, so it'll run off of two big sponge filters instead of a huge Marineland 360 filter. I'm trying to see how that will work. So far it's doing pretty well. So that's the update, you guys. Yeah, just trying to make it more neat and better, and hopefully eventually this will be pretty good, and I can start maybe covering some of this up with some sort of a shelving, so you guys just see the tank, the front of these tanks here, and not the rest of everything. But that's a long time from now. I'm not really gonna get into that yet, but I think it's worth doing as well. For now, temporarily as well. Well, maybe not temporarily, but I've moved all my male and female guppies into this tank, and I just have some fry fish here for guppies. I have my cardinal neon tetras here. I have my Buenos Aires tetras here. I'm probably going to pick up a few little rainbow fish, the little guys, into this tank here. Once these fry grow up, these are convict cichlids. Let me move the light out of the way here. And these guys made a mess for me because my filter was off. So that should clear up here shortly. But all my little convict cichlids, once they get to a pretty decent size, they'll all go in here probably. I need something to liven this tank up. And I'll probably do some other fish in here. And I'm debating what to do with these two tanks. I'll probably put some little air stones on here, a little tiny 10-gallon sponge filter in here with some air as well, and I'll probably do some nano fish in here. I'm thinking nano fish right now for these two. And this one still has some guppies in here as well, but I am going to be adding some other tetras in here as well. So I'll have one 2, 3, 4 tanks of tetra fish, maybe 5 tanks of tetra fish, maybe little nano tetra fish like the raspberry, the little tiny raspberry might go in there, and so on. So that's pretty much the update. Hopefully you guys keep watching, see what else happens, how the fish room progresses. But this is it for now. As I mentioned before, I like my air filters and my air pumps higher up, just because I've had issues where my air pump went off on one of my tanks and I never noticed, and it flowed back the water through the pump and started leaking, and I didn't notice, and it caused some damage in my stand. So since then I tried to keep my air filters at the air pumps at the top, and that's nice and quiet. It's so quiet now compared to what it was before. And yeah, if you guys have a fish room, sponge filters are really good. What it is you just connect your air hose into it, and everything collects on the sponge. And if you have some plecos in there, they should clean the sponge for you. They'll sit on it, they'll clean it. Otherwise, if you don't like a mess, do not go with the sponge filters, because every time you need to take out the sponge and clean it, it will drop off all the stuff that's collected on the sponge. So you have to be very careful with these, but I'm willing to try them out to be energy efficient in my fish room. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully this helps you out if you are looking to do something similar.